Boston was obviously listed as questionable yesterday. How did she feel through shoot around, and do you have an update on her status for tonight?
Yeah, she just did some of the shooting. She's going to be out tonight. Again with the back-to-back. And Caitlin are back-to-back. Caitlin's going to be active tonight. AB's not, and then they'll flip-flop tomorrow night.
Thank you. That's definitely something I feel like I can hang my hat on. I think a lot of that comes down to just effort, comes down to trying to almost guess what they're going to do on offense and take away what they're best at. But it's a testament to our coaches and getting us prepared, and we watch a lot of film on the other team. But defense ultimately is a 5-person job. So we do a really great job, I think, at times of switching, helping each other, playing on a string. And that's only going to get better as the season progresses. But I feel like tonight, obviously, letting the other team score 106 points, don't think our defense...
Okay, being the engine that makes this whole thing go, please tell us about your tenacity. It's like your motor never stops.
It's about showing up. It's my job. I'm going to do my job every day. I think that this game can't be taken for granted. You got to respect it. You got to pour in whatever you got into it, and give that every time. I don't think there's an excuse that you can give to do this job, and I think that I do my damnedest to make sure that I show up. If I can lace them up and I can do what I need to do, then I'm going to do it.
Team, what do you guys see that made them so dangerous, especially with them playing without Kelsey and without Cameron?
I thought they did a great job getting the ball out of the net, getting the ball on offense and just pushing. They had a lot of transition points. I don't know what it says on here. 27 fast break points. I think they did a really great job of that, pushing the pace. We had a lot of turnovers that led to possessions that we couldn't get back in defense on. So testament to them and just their aggressiveness on the offensive side.
Welcome back to WNBA Trends, where we break down the real story behind the headlines. 4 seconds of a coach explaining a medical decision just became the most debated clip on basketball Twitter this week. And what happened on the court an hour later was so much uglier that everybody missed the actual problem entirely. Stephanie White was handling questions before the Indiana Fever played the LA Sparks. The setup was straightforward. Caitlin Clark coming back from a soft tissue injury, Aliyah Boston's dealing with something physical too. So White laid out the rotation plan. Clark sits tonight, Boston plays. Tomorrow it flips. Clark plays, Boston sits. That 4-second answer changed the entire conversation around this team instantly. Within hours, the clip had been cut, captioned, and reposted thousands of times. Coach is sabotaging Caitlin Clark. Agenda confirmed. Why would you rest your star when your anchor is healthy? The narrative wrote itself. A franchise player breaking attendance records and national TV numbers is having her minutes managed on purpose. That's what the internet decided happened. But here's what actually happened on the court that night.
Kelsey, to that end, it seemed like this game was just disjointed a little bit for you guys. Was it sometimes the turnovers, or sometimes even you didn't turn it over, but you just couldn't get into the offense you guys wanted? Do you feel like there was this sort of a little bit of a disjointedness that you guys never could quite get past?
I think flow is always disjointed, disoriented when you don't defend. I think that anything that you want to do on the offensive end, you can't do when you don't defend the ball. If you're getting the ball at the net every possession, you're going to be discombobulated. I think for us, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot because we couldn't find a decent flow offensively. I think that we had some good moments. I think that we had some moments that made it seem like we were getting back into the game, but you got to turn them into moments every single possession after a while. And we shot ourselves in the foot because then we started looking for possessions to save us, and it was kind of too late. So I think defensively, you got to kind of be yourself. You got to kind of want to pour in and be what you're supposed to be, and letting the offense kind of take it from there. But
let's see, you mentioned the 106 points on defense. Just what was breaking down there defensively, especially in the front court with them scoring 60 in the paint?
Yeah, not having AB tonight definitely hurts us, I think. She's a presence on the defensive side for sure. But like Kelsey talked about, I think we couldn't get set up on defense with the turnovers that we had. It just kind of ruined our momentum when we turn it over and they get leak out layups. But I think we let them do what they want to do. All their starters with over 10 points. That's something that we can't let happen.
The Sparks kind of changed their strategy too. They usually play a little bit more 5-out, and they were more one-on-one this time. Did that catch you guys by surprise at all?
No, that's kind of who they always been identified as. I don't think that they've always had downhill players, and it's just something that we just weren't as mindful of that as we should have been. But I don't think them and who they were tonight was any different than what we've seen before. I just think that we didn't match their physicality. We were soft. We got punched in the mouth, and we kind of just kept getting punched tonight. And I don't think, hats off to their group for being really great, but I don't think it's something that we have.
What did the Sparks do that you saw that you did not expect them to do tonight, coming in, that allowed them to score as many points as they did tonight?
I don't think they did anything that we didn't expect them to do. I think we certainly understand how capable of a team they are. I felt like we just didn't match their energy. We didn't match their toughness. We didn't match their effort tonight.
Not a strategic move, not a mind game, a medical conversation. Tracking when something got worse and building the workload back from there. The same conversation every training staff in every sport has about every player working back from something physical. That's not satisfying if you came in looking for a villain. Real injury management almost never is. It's slower, more boring, a lot less shareable than a caption that just says, "Sabotage confirmed." But satisfying and true are not the same thing. Everything you just heard, directly from the players and the coach who were actually in that locker room, pointed at one thing: a banged-up roster and a genuinely bad defensive night, not a coaching staff working against its own franchise player. So here's the actual question worth asking, and I mean actually asking it, not just picking a side because it fits a narrative you walked in believing. Is Stephanie White managing Caitlin Clark's return the right way, even when it costs a win in the short term? Or is caution like this exactly what's slowing down her rookie season, dressed up in medical language? Neither answer makes for a clean villain, and maybe that's the takeaway here. A rookie coming back from injury, a franchise trying to win now and protect her future, a fan base watching so closely that a routine medical decision turns into a controversy within hours. That's not a conspiracy. That's just what it looks like when a player becomes this big, this asked. The Fever get another shot tomorrow. Boston comes back. Clark's in the game. The Sparks are behind them. And somewhere on the internet, someone's probably already started cutting the next 4 seconds into a scandal. Tell me where you land in the comments. Did this change how you read that clip from the top? Hit like if you're interested in the real story, not just the headline, and subscribe, because when the Fever play again, we're breaking down what actually happened, not just what went viral.
Anytime you've missed, a couple weeks, it's going to take some time to get acclimated. I think it's going to take some time to build endurance. She hadn't really been able to practice all that much either. They pressured 94 feet, so again, you got to make sure that you're able to withstand some of that. It's never easy when you're reintegrating, after injury. So I thought she did some really good things. It's just a tough scenario when you're on a minutes restriction and you're trying to get back into rhythm throughout the course of the season. So she's going to continue to be better, and we're going to continue to be better. And as we get her back, working back in.
Yeah, the Sparks had 60 points in the paint tonight. Just what were the breakdowns in the front court, especially with AB out?
Yeah, that's a big one. Right, that's a big one because she's our anchor. She's our anchor. She's our communicator. She's our rim protector. She does a lot for us. And 27 fast break points. 22 points off of turnovers. That contributes because those are easy ones. We don't have a transition defense when you give it to them and they're able to score. Turnovers for touchdowns, so to speak. I felt like some of our rotations weren't there. As good of activity level. Again, it's big when you don't have an AB on the floor, certainly. We didn't have Sophie early as she locked up early, before even warm up. So we didn't have her early as well. So I think more than anything, collectively, just the team defensive effort, making sure we're in our rotation.
Coach, you mentioned earlier also that they were going to flip-flop, and Caitlin will play today and Aliyah play tomorrow. Was that decision based on about the opponents that you're playing?
No, it was a conversation with the medical staff and sort of where we were in terms of when the injuries flared up.